Guys, Teacher Jordan here. Today I am bringing you a walkthrough for the interactive level 2-3 mock class. This is for the interactive levels 2 and 3 certification. If you have not yet watched my how to pass your mock class video, I want you to stop what you're doing right now and go back and watch that video. In my mock class how to teach your mock class video, I go through all of the things that you are going to need to do to pass your mock class. In this video, I will still mention some of those things, but if you're wondering how to pass your mock class and what skills you need to pass your mock class and to prepare yourself to be a VIPKID teacher, I want you to stop what you're doing and go back and watch that video. Mock class, you are going to need an educational backdrop, nice bright lighting. You are going to need at least 2 props that go along with the lesson. You are going to need a reward system, and you are also going to need a headset with a microphone. You're going to need a whiteboard. I got my whiteboard at the Dollar Tree. It came with a marker, so $1 investment. Your mock class. You are going to be prepping for 2 lessons, option A and option B. You are going to prep both of these lessons and be prepared to teach both of these lessons to your mock mentor. Once you get to your mock class, your mentor is going to tell you that you are teaching either option A or option B. At that time, you will begin to teach them one of the lessons. It's a 50-50 chance. Some mentors out there will allow you to choose your own lesson. They will ask you which one you want to teach. Other mentors are going to choose for you. So I do suggest that you are equally prepared to teach either of the lessons. Video today, I'm going to be referencing my VIPKID applicant support group, the Google Drive, and also the mock class lesson script. So if you are one of my referrals and I'm talking about these things, you can hop on over to the support group, go to the Google Drive, and in that Google Drive you are going to find the interactive 2-3 mock class script. Option A, and you can go over there and you can follow along as I'm going through this walkthrough today so that you can see what those slides look like as I am going through them. Also, if you are not already in that Facebook group, I will link it here and I want you to go to that group. You can join if you're not already working with a hiring coach, and we can work together to help you get hired with VIPKID. Wondering if this certification is the correct certification for you, in the VIPKID support group, you can check out some actual real class videos of me teaching this level. So you can go into the applicant support group on Facebook and you can use the search bar within the Facebook group to search level 2 classes, and you will see actual videos of me teaching this level, and then you can see if this is a good fit for you. For your mock class, the entire mock class is probably going to take you about 30 minutes. There's only going to be about 10 minutes of this time that is you teaching. The slide that you are going to see is going to say, "My friends and I, my toys." This is kind of an introduction slide that is telling you what the objectives are for this class. And this is really important because you need to know what you are teaching and what the student needs to learn. You can ask your mentor if they would like you to start at this slide. If they have a preference, then go ahead. You can introduce yourself to the student on this slide, but I would recommend starting on the next slide, the intro slide that says the greeting slide. This is how I would teach the greeting slide. Hello! My name is Teacher Jordan. What is your name? My name is Lucas. I'm cupping my ear, I'm using TPR, I'm speaking nice and slowly. Hello, Lucas. Lucas, how are you? That's great. Lucas, how old are you? 5? I am 5 years old. Good job. Okay, so on that get to know you slide, you're going to ask a few rapport questions. These are the questions I always ask. How are you? How old are you? Okay, you're going to ask them those questions. Needs prompting here. They're not responding to you. They're acting like they don't understand what you are asking them. What is your name? If they do that to you, then you can use a puppet, or you can use a stuffed animal, and you can go back and forth with the questions, and you can teach them what to say. To the reward slide. This slide I get a lot of questions about from my referrals, and I want to clear this up with you. Okay, you are encouraged to use your own reward system with the student. You need to have a secondary reward system. So do not want to ignore this slide. You want to use this slide to teach the student or assess the student on how well they can drag and drop. So when you get to the reward slide, do not let this stress you out. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to introduce your reward. You can have any kind of age-appropriate reward that you want to. I today am going to use stars because this is easy. Okay? If possible, I want you to make your reward system viewable. Why can I not think of the word? Viewable throughout the entire lesson. If not, okay, don't do it. That's okay. All right? So this is the reward slide. Lucas, when you do a good job, you get a star. Good job. Good job. Star. Easy. You introduced your reward to them. Now, look at the reward slide. I'm going to teach the student on this slide how to use the drag and drop feature. My toys. My toys. Good job. Lucas, drag and drop. Drag and drop. And while I'm saying drag and drop and using the TPR for drag and drop, I am going to be dragging and dropping on the screen and showing the student how that works. I can also use my mouse and say drag and drop. And then you're going to say, Lucas, you drag and drop. And then you're going to have them drag and drop. It is my understanding and my opinion after having over 100 successful referrals that you do not need to go back to this slide anymore. Okay? You have introduced your own secondary reward system and you have used the drag and drop features on this slide. You do not need to return to this slide. You are introducing the vocabulary word ball to the student. You're going to circle the word ball, circle, and say ball. Ball. Now you're going to circle the girl playing with the ball and say she plays with a ball. Good job. She plays with a ball. She plays with a ball. Good job. The teacher tips are telling you that the student needs to circle the ball. So after you've done all of that, I want you to clear the screen and say, Lucas, circle ball. Circle ball. Okay, and you want to see if that student is going to circle the ball. You prompted them. You've already circled it. If they do not circle it, give them the appropriate amount of wait time. But if they do not circle the ball, then I want you to circle the ball and say, Lucas, circle the ball. And you are going to want to use the reward 5 times, about 5 times throughout this lesson. So you could do it every other slide. If you can't remember to reward your student, use a sticky note and post that up on your computer. The student is practicing using the new vocabulary word that you just taught them. So to start with the slide, I want you to circle the boy with the ball. So circle that on the screen and say, he plays with a He plays with a ball. Good. He plays with a ball. Good. What does he play with? Good job! Now clear the screen and circle the girl and say, what does she play with? She plays with a ball. Good job! This slide gets a lot of questions because of the kite. I'm not sure if the student knows the word kite or not, so we're going to start with the boy with the soccer ball giving the thumbs up. So circle the boy with the soccer ball and say, what does he play with? Good job! He plays with a ball. Good. Drag, drop. Drag, drop. If the student doesn't drag and drop the soccer ball on their own, that's okay. You want to show them what to do first so they can be successful. So go ahead and drag that for them, and then you can refresh the screen and say drag and drop and then have them do it on their own. Circle the boy spinning the basketball. What does he play with? He plays with a ball. Good job! What does he play with? He plays with a ball. Good job! Drag and drop. Drag and drop. If they don't do it this time, maybe show them the mouse, drag and drop, but they should be able to do that at this point in the lesson. Circle that boy with the kite and say, what does he play with? If they don't say anything, if they don't say the word kite, you could say kite. Kite. He plays with a kite. He plays with a kite. Good job! And then you're going to want to have them drag and drop the kite. Part in the lesson, you can use your whiteboard, and this is going to also be a great supplementary tool that you are using to teach the student this concept. I'm going to circle the word throw, and I'm going to say throw. Throw. Good. Throws. Throws. Good. Remind them about this he, she, it concept by saying he, she, it throws. We're just going to circle the girl throwing and the sentence and say she throws. Good. She throws. Good. Clear the screen. Circle they throw. They throw. They throw. Good job. Click to the next slide. The student is going to be practicing using that verb throw that you just taught them. So I'm just going to say to the student, Lucas, who throws? And say, circle, who throws? This next slide where they're applying the use of that verb that you just taught them, you could go through and say, throw, throw. He, she, it throws, throws. You're going to circle the first picture on the screen and you're going to say, she, she she throws. Yes, she throws. Good job. Drag and drop. Just circle the next sentence and picture and say, I throws. Good. I throw. So when you're going through this part of the lesson with the student, I want you to be prompting them by demonstrating that verb for them, throw. Also kind of prompting them with saying throw, throws. If they're still not getting it on the second picture, you can show them the chart that you made. You can say them for them. Also be cupping your ear to prompt them that you're waiting for them to answer, and you can also demonstrate that drag and drop TPR for them. So you're utilizing a lot of different tools here. Last picture, you've already done the I do. You guys have done it together. So for the third picture, I'm going to circle the boy and say, who throws? Good job. He throws. Good. Drag and drop. Okay, so you've given them the reins and you've asked them the question. I'm going to say, Lucas, good job. You get a star. Star. Good job. Is the blending slide. You're introducing this new phonics. My suggestion to you here is to use your whiteboard. If you bought magnetic letters or if you have magnetic letters, you can utilize those for this slide. The blending slide. First, we're going to introduce that ip sound. So we're going to circle the ip on the screen, and you can use your whiteboard or whatever else you're going to be using to teach this and say, ip. Good. Now you're going to circle the Z and say Z. 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 Ip. Ip. Zip. Good. Z. Ip. Zip. Good. Follow that pattern for the rest of those letter sounds. Now, something that could trip you up on this slide is that you are going to need to make sure that you're using synthetic phonics. And guys, that means that you're making the letter sounds correctly. I have helped people that are even kindergarten teachers before that send me a practice slide and they're not making the synthetic sounds. So you need to make sure you're making those sounds correctly. Z, okay, so make sure you're making those correctly. Of these free talk slides. I feel like once you get to this part in the lesson, the stress is gone. You're just going to ask the student, what do you see? And see what they say. Maybe they will extend upon something and you can have a little bit of a conversation with them. Just remember, if they do not use a complete sentence, that you encourage that you repeat that complete sentence to them and try and have them repeat that back to you. So if they don't say anything at all, you could circle the ball and say, I see a ball. Good. You can also, sorry, I'm just looking at the teacher tips. What do you do with a ball? Prompt them to say throw. If they don't say it themselves, you can say I throw a ball, okay? So this slide is super easy, guys. You could also circle the girl and say, what does she do with a ball? You made it to the end. On the goodbye slide, don't just cut it off. Just say, great job, Lucas. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. Good job. Bye. Okay, and the lesson's over. Please do not be alarmed. If your mock mentor cuts you off before this point because you ran out of time, that's okay. It's hard to get that timing down when you're a newbie, but I promise you that it's going to be a lot less stressful once you're hired with VIPKID and you have your own classroom and your own real student. So if they cut you off, timing isn't everything. I promise you I've had many, many, many applicants who have not completed the whole PowerPoint. They have passed. I'm not saying to ignore it because it's important, but it is not everything. One tip that I have in prepping for your mock class is to record yourself teaching the lesson. You can watch a million videos. You can watch videos until you can't watch them anymore. But the best way to prep is to do this yourself. After you schedule your mock class, then you will have access to the practice classroom on the teacher portal. Please go in there so that you can see what it's actually going to be like. That prior to your mock class, you log into that classroom 1 hour before the start time so that you can make sure that your lighting looks good, make sure that your sound equipment is working, that your internet connection is stable. Just make sure that you are ready to go, and then when you're in there, if you have some extra time, you can continue going through that lesson prior to teaching it to your mock mentor. Remember that you can reach out to me. You can join my applicant support group, which I will link here. If you need more tips on how to pass your mock class, please follow the link to check out my How to Pass Your Mock Class video. This is going to teach you those ESL foundations that you are going to need to pass your mock class. What a hiring coach is. A hiring coach is someone that is going to help you throughout the VIPKID hiring process, and also if you work with me as your hiring coach, I will help you to see you through all the way to being a successful teacher. I have lots of tips on even once you are hired, how you can be successful, and I hope that you will work with me all the way to that point.